Craver from NorCal BASSIX. Today we're joined by Bruce Calin, our upright specialist. And Bruce, give us a little information on what we're looking at here today. What kind of a bass do we have?
This is a K bass made in 1939, and this is what we call made out of laminated wood. It's all plywood, and but these are very solid, very nice playable instruments. And like I say, this one was made in 1939, kind of the golden age of these instruments because they were making so many of them. But anyway, there's still a lot of them around, still very, very popular, very playable, and I'm really fortunate to have this one.
Today we're going to be installing the Hipshot FreeRange Xtender made for uprights.
Right? Yeah, there we go. Right? Doesn't fall out or yeah. We installed the Hipshot Xtender. And it was really pretty easy. Of course, with any string bass like this, the most time-consuming part is taking the string off and putting the string on. And once we got that done and tuned it up, it was really a very quick process. I got to say, it was really very easy. And what we did here was just tune the E string so that when we turn or flip the lever, it goes down to a D. So here's your E. And it seems to be really very well in tune. It's staying in tune, and it always takes a little time whenever you start, changing strings or retuning very much to take time for the instrument to stabilize. But very cool. There's your E. There's your D. I like it. Yeah, one thing about this that is really important, and this is with bass strings anyhow, but you need to make sure that you have something lubricating where it goes over the bridge here. Like even graphite from a number 2 pencil or something, just to rub it in there. That's pretty much a standard thing when you're putting new strings on or changing strings anyway. But you can see where, especially with this, because it's more motion over the bridge here, and so you want to make sure that there's some good lubrication, because otherwise eventually it would break the winding, and that's not a good thing. So that's really the only other thing to think about. Over the years, there have always been players who've, instead of tuning the bass in fourths like it normally is, like electric bass or like the lower 4 strings of a guitar or whatever. About this is you could actually do this. You could make a bass tuned in fourths into a bass tuned in fifths. So you could go, you'd have to have 3 for all of them, because the D string stays the same. But if you had 3 of them, you could make your bass instantaneously from a 4 string into a 5 string and back again, which to me is a cool idea. That is one thing that really would be slick. I would have to try that. Nice. It's not, it's not, doesn't sound too flabby or anything. Yeah. So somehow it keeps enough tension on the string. I don't know how they do it, but it keeps enough tension on the string so that it doesn't start to rattle. Oh, that's great. we've been playing around with this, and we haven't actually tuned down to a low B. And it's, like I said, the thing that's amazing to me is that the string is a little bit, you know, looser, but not a lot. I mean, it's still very playable. I would have thought that by now the string would be just laying on the fingerboard, you know, but it's actually still very playable. So you can, you know, you can really go at least down as low as this, and it still definitely is. It's still a usable note. So I'm very impressed. We're still playing with this thing. Now we got it down to about as low as it'll go, and it's what, a low B, like a flat B flat. So it's, boy, that's a real floor shaker, isn't it? Yeah. And the thing is, if you go back up, it still goes back to an E. So it still goes back to being in tune.